What's up, guys? I'm Josh, and today I wanted to talk to you about money because I feel like not a ton of people talk about money, and it's important, especially in college when it seems to be very, very limited. By no means am I a finance guru, so take every piece of advice that I give with a little pinch of salt. So I've compiled a list of some tips that I've been taught over the years, and I want to pass them on to you guys because they've been of value to me, and hopefully they can be of value to you as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. To begin with, I think it's super important to keep track of your personal finances. If you don't know what's happening with your money, you don't know where it's going, or you don't know how much you're bringing in, then what even is it, you know? You definitely have to know what you're doing with your money, and I think the easiest way to do this is through an app that keeps track of your finances. I use Personal Capital because it's free. It has mobile and desktop versions, so I can access it from really wherever. And this app basically just compiles your savings account, your checkings account, your credit card if you have a credit card account, your investments. Basically just takes it all and just puts it into one big bucket of an app. And this bucket of an app, I think, is incredibly useful because the visualization of where your money is located can tell you maybe you're not being the most effective with it. Maybe you are being super effective with it. Who knows? Not you if you don't have this app. So I would definitely recommend Personal Capital, but there's a ton of other apps that do the same thing, and they may even do it better. I'd recommend doing some research and finding an app that looks the best to you. But yeah, keep track of your money. Know how much money you're bringing in. Know how much money you're spending. Because if you don't have an idea of where your cash is coming and going, do you even have it? You know? Another piece of advice is if you have the option to take a subsidized loan or an unsubsidized loan for college, take the subsidized loan. Now, I don't know your specific situation, but subsidized loans are usually nicer than unsubsidized because you don't have to start paying interest on them until your schooling period is over. Unsubsidized loans, on the other hand, that interest begins right away as you take out the loan. So if you have the opportunity and you want to pay less money, I like to pay less money, get a subsidized loan. Another piece of advice, I'm sure you heard this a bunch of times, apply for so many scholarships. There's a ton of scholarships that are offered through anywhere, literally anywhere offers a scholarship. It's kind of crazy how many places you can get scholarships from. You can get scholarships for being tall, for having certain colored eyes, of course for being good at sports and stuff, but people I don't think recognize how many places you can get scholarships from. So if you take a little bit of time, there's some great resources online like Niche that offer a ton of scholarships, are super easy to apply for. Niche even offers some where you just click a button and you've automatically applied for the scholarship. So I'd recommend take 5 or 10 minutes out of your day, search for some scholarships, and save some money. Might as well. Another piece of advice I have is to consider putting your money into assets that increase in value higher than a savings account. Savings accounts are very safe and nice because your money is always there. However, they gain value at a very low rate compared to certain other assets. So if you can think about putting your money into some ETFs or the general stock market or real estate or bonds, those are some truly great options where your money may appreciate at a higher rate than if you had just left it all sitting in a savings account. I put a lot of my money into stocks. That's just kind of a personal finance choice, but I think it's worked well for me, and I recommend if you're at least partially interested, do some research on stocks, see where you can be putting your money. Again, what do I know? I'm a 19-year-old talking to a camera. Also make sure to consider where it is that you're spending your money. Maybe you're splurging in an area and you don't even realize it. And splurging some of the times is definitely okay if you're able to balance it with your budget. However, if you're splurging in a couple of different areas and it's not matching your budget, then that's when it's time to probably reconsider your spending habits. Splurge a little here, splurge a little bit there. Don't splurge everywhere though. You lose a lot of money. Another piece of money advice for college is if you live with roommates, which I know a lot of people do, including myself, consider shopping in bulk. Now, if you go to a place like Costco or Sam's Club every couple of weeks, I think that you can get a lot better deals than if you go to the grocery store every single week. You just keep on buying and buying and buying and buying. While shopping in bulk may be more expensive with each trip that you take, it should definitely last longer and save you more money in the long run. And my final piece of advice, this is kind of more of an opinion, I guess, than a solid piece of advice, but I truly think that your time is more valuable than your money. I think it's important to realize that you can spend a little bit here and there and still stick to your budget. And for that reason, I think it's important to create a budget that works for you. One where you're saving enough money, but you also have some money that you can use for the things that you want to do. Because in the end, the things that you want to do are, I think, the most valuable experiences in life. And money's just a piece of paper that you're going to use to try to get certain experiences. So if you're smart about where your money is going and how you're saving it, I don't think you should really be stressing too much about money. Alright, well, that's all the advice I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching the video. Hopefully some of it helps. Peace.